Kacky is one of the biggest events in Trackmania, attracting thousands of players each time it runs. Each Kacky event consists of 75 maps, making it an absurd grind where you have to exploit glitches, bugs, and tricks to reach the finish line on each track. In the previous Kacky edition, I made a lot of videos about my progression, but still, there are many finishes I got which never saw the light of day on YouTube. So in this video, I'm showing you just about every finish I got, and I really hope you enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't. A lot of Trackmania content coming soon. Thank you guys, love you guys, enjoy. Here's the thing. Have a look at the rankings. Guys, the rankings. We're third in Kacky. We're top 3 out of how many players? 3,500 players that finished the map. 74 out of 75 maps. I will tell you right now, I'm happy. Kacky's been such a good adventure. Ending in Kacky is a little bit different than ending elsewhere. And it is to look at all the finishes we got and see what we overcame. I started playing this a month ago. My first finish that still stands is 216. We beat this map. 21st of August. Got some speed slides. The bounces through the tunnel. Another bounce. Another bounce over the rings. Directly into the finish. We're gonna watch them all, chat. See everything we overcame. Another green map here, not the hardest. Definitely not the hardest map. But another pretty clean one. You gotta bounce through the gap. Do the wall ride fling up into the bug fin. Solid one. Still using the green skin here for the first couple of finishes. 209? I remember being super hyped when I got this. I was the second person to get this map. Simo got it before me. But at the time when I got it, I thought this was a hard map. I was like, dude, I just finished something really difficult. It was not difficult. Compared to what came later on, right? But this was a sick run. This was honestly a really sick run. Super clean wall ride entry. Super clean pipe hit. Good finish. Mint. Honestly, mint. 154. Early on too, I remember... Oh, yeah, I remember having a night where I was like, I gotta get one more finish, else I'm not ending stream. And then this map came on and I had to get the run. I got it at the end. But I think I played until like 5 AM here to get this. There's that. Now one of my worst records. One of my actual worst records that I would love to improve, to be honest with you. It's just, right now we can't get on the servers for a reason. But, it's a weird one. This is the intended way of the map. You gotta keep that one wheel clipped in the ground all the way to the finish. And the reason being is that if you keep the wheel in the ground, you can start a spin over here. And then get hit by the wall there. Towards the finish. Mine landed in the water and I could safely make my way into the finish. I think I missed the beam. No, I got it. Okay, good. Alright, 177. Oh, another terrible map. Yeah, this one is just press forward and hope for the best. It took me so many attempts, so many finish hits. 177 was the spare. This took so long. Awful map. Another banger map. Magnets. You gotta fling, land backwards, carry the speed, drop down, hit the magnet, reset backwards into a bump to the road again. Clean. And now another magnet fling to the right into a bug slide to the left to the finish. Really clean run. Really clean run. The roof hit into no spug combo. Boom. Flip up to a magnet. And then magnet yeet into another no spug to the finish. Easy. And then 2:11. Currently still stands as a shortcut time, although this is not a shortcut. This is a very long cut, where you drive on the grass around in circles and hope for a bounce. I think I got it here. Good timing. Jump up into the pool and then the climb out. I got this map too. Took a long time. I'm trying to do that normal way now, but no time. 184. The plastic bounce map, where you gotta get this flip up to the top and then the one down to the finish. Wasn't even that bad of a run. Just low speed for the finish. $163. I will tell you, this map, but early on in the event, I thought I wasn't gonna finish it. Because the ending here is so tricky. The ending here never works. You need like 305 speed, and then you need to avoid the car from flinging out in the start, so you get that end. That was so lucky. I remember when I got this, I was like, oh my god, I actually got past 163. I didn't think I would get this in the beginning. Just this is so rare. That the car doesn't clip out, and then this hop, huh, backflip? What? Doesn't really make sense that it works, but it did. Got this too. That was the intended way, yeah? Jump into the plastic wall ride. The jump up to the magnet. $1 trillion oil fund. No Kacky servers. Gotta line up the jump. See the finish in the sky. Boom. Little flick off the rail. I remember we talked about this map was 1 in 3. Not the map, rather. The ending of this map. Flicking off the rail here, 1 in 3 chance. Took a bit more than that, but I did get it in the end. 174 normal way, actually. Not the shortcut. Moritz, thank you for the prime. The flip up backwards. Hit the middle of the finishes, yeah. This one I kept messing up the end on too. But got that run. 207. The bug slide, wall hit into another bug slide, and the angle has to be exactly on the dirt patch, and then you over angle into the third bug slide to the finish. Also a really clean run. Crazy part is, like, this is only 10 finishes, chat, that we've watched so far. Like 10, 15 finishes. There are so many more. Look at all the maps we beat. It's crazy. Alright, 176. I think we'll 2x speed this because it's underwater map. It's just, yeah. Glide on the wall. Go down the wall. Yeet across with a bumper. Glide on this wall. Glide on the next wall. And then yeet across with the last bumper. Boom. This is a bit of a boring map in my opinion, but it's a cool mechanic regardless. 171. This took so many fails, but finally got this one too. Quite early on. The nose bug on the reactor booster to fly on the wall. And then threading the needle through this gap. Small bounce, try to get the direct finish. Missed it a little bit. Lost about a second to the potential time I could have had. Still very fast though. 183. Oh, this was the cheese. Oh. So many cheeses in this. This was one of them. This one, just unfortunate for the mapper. Because he didn't expect that you could just drive normally. The intended mechanic was to nose boost here, but you just drive and you can still make it. This was stupid. I feel bad for Viru, I think it was, who built this. This looks so dumb. But with the slow-mo and nose sliding here, you can barely get enough speed. It's very precise though. You see the space you work with here. It's very precise. But you barely make it. 172. Oh, I love this map. You have to jump up, over angle slightly, ice slide to get height on the wall ride, drop down, instantly flick backwards, and then flick back across the booster onto the next booster. This map's sick. One of my favorites, actually, this Kacky. It was very satisfying to get this, because it flows really nicely. Flows very, very nicely. 218, the wallbang map. I got this so late. But I have a really fast time here. I think I'm like 3rd or 4th on the leaderboards. This is the map where wallbanging is faster because of acceleration penalty. And then just, yeah, finish. In the slow-mo. That one's pretty trivial. 169. This was world record. I think it got beaten by Kacky, but once upon a time, the fastest run on the map. Turtle down the hill. Committed for a lot of speed here. And this looks so scuffed, but scuffed on this map is good. Somehow these tend to all centralize. So I got the landing and then backwards finish. And then a really relieving map to get. 157. This map, already like 2 weeks into Kacky, took me 10 hours. At least 10 hours to get. I don't know if it's DNS. I saw people talking about DNS, but 157, man. This map's just pure luck. 222. Oh, the reactor. There's so many maps I've forgotten. We have had 190 rotation already, Cursal, but there's one in 40 minutes, which maybe I can make it to. We'll see. I'll try again soon. Moonman, thank you for 2 months. Sampirical, thank you for 8 months. Yeah, this map is crazy. I remember I just barely had time to reach the finish here. It was so close. 158. A totally wicked map. This one I didn't think I would finish when Kacky started. Because it's just so wild of an idea. You have to Uberbug into another Uberbug. And I could get the first one, but for the second one, I think I had about 200 failed attempts before I got one successful one. $196. If you asked me to finish this twice, I don't think I could. I think getting the one finish here, I'm extremely happy with it. It's just so weird to get this bounce right here. This backwards bounce tends to never work. 194. The Opus map. Couple today, yeah, I don't think I can play it. Dude, this with the beat drop was insane. Still one of my favorite things I've ever done in the game. One of the favorite things I've ever done. So good. 192. Ooh, this map. I beat this when I had 10 seconds left on the server. Works for you? Yeah, I don't know. But I already told you guys, like, I hate doing tax step on stream. I would rather just not. Flip up. 10 seconds left to beat the map here to get into the finish. I fail the first bug through. I go back, fail the second. Gotta get through. Get the third. But just know that you're all usernames on a screen. I can't tell the difference between the smart people and the The trolls. This one is one of my favorites. This one is one of my favorites. Getting this map, I was like, what the hell? Because when I first saw this, I was like, no way. And if you haven't seen how close the margins on this were, first of all, this first bug slide, right? Barely got to the platform. Then this second one, where you have to get the exact fling angle. You fling on the back wheel. And then here, just look at how close this is. I'm gonna go free camera. Am I gonna make it? That is close. That is very close. And now if you look at it at real speed again, just think about that, right? Think about that. Whoop, like 1 pixel for the landing. And then the bounce. When I got this, I was like, dude. Could never finish that again. Basically what I wanted to do is just look back at all the Kacky records we did and see, you know, how far we really got. So this is like 20 maps in. It's another day. Going into the event, I didn't think I'd finish this. Turned out to not be one of the hardest maps. It's just that this trick here looks so dank. But you just have to steer opposite of what it looks like. So I had to steer to the right to make it drop down. And then I almost messed it up. I remember this, but I slowed down enough to let the car drop into the finish on the backside. Wild map. 201. I think this is still world record. Kacky world record. Mr. Clean. Out on the racing track. Beautiful jump into the wall ride. The drop down. Catch the grip. I had so much speed here. Even with the shaky landing, I had so much speed. And I think the one thing that made it, bug slide landing. If I don't bug slide on that landing up here, by the way, insane entry. If I don't bug slide here, I think it's slower. I think the bug slide gives you the grip and then just finish. 166. Yeah, this was one of the, actually the first map I finished, but I got a really good time on it. Where you just YOLO for the finish back there. I don't know. 179. This one took me so many goddamn attempts. Oh, I had so many fails on this too. But 179 did fall in the end. It was so tricky because you had to get this wheelie and then also bounce with the wheelie, like directly into finish. 187 fell immediately after. This was like the night where I finished 3 or 4 maps back to back in 1.5 hours. 187 was the second one. And on this one, in one way, you could say I have a world record on this. Because I got the slowest time. And it's really hard to drive slower than this because you won't make it to the finish. The map is speed-based and you need to get into the finish, and I got one of the slowest times. You love this one? Yeah, this one was so clean, the map. It was a bit weird to understand how the turnarounds worked, because it looks very simple. But the turnarounds worked indeed. They just worked this run. And I didn't have to suffer no longer. Doesn't it feel amazing? It feels great, yeah. This map. Oh my god. Yeah, I still think this is one of the luckiest runs I've ever done. Did I win? I did not win Kacky. But it depends on what you count. Is winning getting first place, or is winning having fun for a month? And finishing a lot of maps and hanging out with a lot of people? Because if the second one is your metric, then I did win indeed. If the first one, then no. But this finish had no business working. So I bug slid on the edge, got the nose stand, and bugged through the finish. It was like a failing in style moment. that this worked, because it shouldn't have. It's so jank. 167, the cheese. This map had a normal way, which I hated. The cheese strat was so good though. Found by F6, this entire shortcut route. Beautiful stuff. Won't have to play the map. I'll do it in 2x speed, because it's just a reroute. Just drive over the blocks, drop down to the booster, jump up to this road, set up here, and then there's one difficult jump you have to do, which is right here. This drop down, you have to jump on this beam, bounce across to the dirt, carry a bit of speed, and then you can get to the finish in the water. Finish down here. Napper added this finish because he couldn't get the top finish in time for the deadline. And if this finish wasn't here, this wouldn't be possible, because you can't get the speed for the normal one this way. But that saved us struggling on that. 198, a beautiful, beautiful map. Any maps I one-shot? I'd say, like, there was one map I got in 3 minutes of playing it. I think that's the closest. This is a sick map. This is a really beautiful map. 198. Even with the shortcut, it's beautiful. Just elegant dance. And I got world record on that too. I think this is still world record. Then a map that happened out of nowhere in one of my despair days. I can't even remember. I just hadn't finished a map in like 8 hours on stream. Played an entire stream at this point without finishing a map. And I just sat off stream and I was like, dude, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna play this event. And then I played the hardest maps, one of them, and I got the nosebook. I got the nosebook that you need on this map, which took the mapper 65 hours in total, 15 hours on this version of it to get, and I got it maybe within an hour in total on the map. It's just such a precise setup when you look at it. You have to full steer to the right. After you clip the edge, you full steer left. I'm steering left here. And then before you hit the edge, you have to press forward. And then exactly when the nose hits the road, you have to nose bug to get the yeet. And you see how close is that? Because if the car clips the edge there, this does not work. I'm curious. How close is this? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Pretty close. Pretty close to never getting this map. I think that was my one shot and it worked. 220. Ooh, a beautiful map too. Will I go for 190? I don't think so. I don't think the effort would be worth the payoff. Like, it could take 100 hours. And for what? For copium. I surrender to 190. This map is really elegant. Took me a while to understand the last bug slide, but after I did, it too was a finish. 164 is the spam map. No, I think I'm happy with how Kacky went overall. Like, you don't. If the only way it could be a good event is if you win, then it's kind of a near impossible standard to reach. At the end of the day, I can only be happy that I played my best. And I played pretty damn well. You know? I'm not too upset. I finished every map other than 190. Although it took me till the last day to do it. I'm really satisfied. This one, I failed the end so many times. This is a really hard map. Harder than it looks, I think. And then 165. One of my most clutch runs this edition, I'd say. This one, pretty clutch. There were so many moments where I kind of saved it. So first of all, in the first flip here, I went higher than I usually would. So I steered a lot down and then caught it with a right tap to get the flip to this. Then as it bounced up into the backwards part, it was sideways. Now you don't want this. But I was able to steer immediately and get into a no slide. And then you have to go to the side, get ready for the drop down. Here it was going to slide again on the landing. I did a right tap to cancel it and then left into the finish. Or left tap and then right tap into the finish. This was almost world record to the end of the event, but a one Hefes managed to beat it. I had a really good start. Good wheel clip. Good bug slide. Only thing that was really bad was the bounce into the finish. 189 with the cheese. No, is this the right file? Did I open the right replay? Dude, this looks wrong. I don't crash corners like that. Intended here's easy, come on. Dude, Acer, I was desperate. I was desperate. Had to do what I had to do. I couldn't get the backwards part right. But I got a bit of a weird cheese because I got into this corner and I had like 2 seconds left to finish, I remember. It's very close. Then 180 with the cheese. I think you guys know what happens on this map, right? This is such a... You drive around the stadium, gather 400 speed. Holy shit, so fast. And then you jump up to the top of the map. This was one of the most intricate ways to beat a map, this Kacky. Jump up to the roof. And then drop down here. Turn around. I think no one beat this map intended way. Except the mapper. And I think no one beat 214 intended way either. Except... No, not even the mapper. You have to set up here, and then lastly, after all of this, you have to drop into the finish. Except I failed it, so I went back and did it all again. For this attempt. Where you just have to sneak under that, bounce here, and complete the map. Intended way on this map, people are asking for. There's a reason it was never beaten. It's because you had to do this. Six nose bugs while spinning into a jump up to the finish. So people just did the long workaround. Ridiculous map. Ridiculous map. And the mapper said, since you guys cheesed it, I'm just rebuilding it for the next Kacky. I'll remove the cheese then, so you're gonna have to do it. 208. This is the one map I was able to get that Silence didn't get. Which ultimately decided the tie-break battle between me and him. Nose bug into a double upside down bounce. Onto the plastic. And then here, you want to go where the arrows are. Because the finishes are inside these pipes. You either down there or down here, right? My car is not headed for either. It is in fact headed in between the two, in the middle. And there wasn't much I could do about that except try to bounce on this plastic panel. To get flung to the side, air brake, to fall directly into the chute. That was quite lucky. Not gonna lie, that was quite lucky. And then you just fall down here hoping for the best. Oh. The car has to bounce. You see the finish down there, and it barely touched the finish line trigger. You say this is lucky, but like, I played this map for several hours to get that run. It's quite close. 223, I think that was just a cheese improvement. We can show it though. Yeah, this was just... I hunted the cheese strat to get a good time. This map was to spare. Yeah, dude. Acer, you got so lucky. So this one, got the bounce up and just drove to the finish. Quite a simple map with the cheese, with the shortcut. 191, an absolutely cracked map. The second map in this edition where you have to jump up on the top of the sign, except it was much easier than its counterpart. I was so relieved when I got this, because I had crashed the finish on this map like 5 or 6 times. 5 or 6. And then on this one, it just all came together. The drop down into a bug slide, into another bug slide, and the speed was there for the finish. That was a map that I didn't even know how to beat. Had no idea how to beat it. And it's crazy to look back at, because like, this is exactly what you want in Kacky. You want it to feel impossible in the start, and then you want to be able to gradually improve and see like, oh, these are the small details that make it work. This is what I have to focus on. It's so satisfying. It's like, I can't even describe how great it feels when you're able to beat maps that you thought were impossible. That's the only map you got. It's a fun map, the Flappy Bird map. Also, these are just improved records. Like, these were not my first finishes, but my eventual personal best on them. Also PB'd on this map. By going low, catching the wall, no steer, into the finish. It's pretty good. 182, wild map. Oh, and the next one is sick. The next one is really sick. But this one first. Just a PB improvement. That I got with about 1 second left on the clock. Just a bug through into the finish. The next record is so special. Because I think, if I'm not wrong, I was the only person who got this. Maybe someone else got it, but I really think I was the only one. Look at this. 900 finishers on this map. The times, right? They're super close. 15:8, 16:02, 16:05, 06, 07, 08, 09. So close. Like top 100. It's super stacked, right? Here's Moji. Nice time. Super stacked. And what happened? I am 1 second faster than everyone else. How, you might ask? Let me show you. I was able to find a faster pattern for the map than anyone else had. A lot of people had one pattern because this map has a lot of flappy walls. If you look at this. This is how the map works. You have to drive through this to get to the finish on the other side. And many people had set on one pattern, which you press forward in the start, go on the right side. However, pressing forward led to you getting a 8.8 second checkpoint 1. My strat on this map was to wait. I just stood still in the start for about 0.7 seconds, started driving. And then I got this push into a boost on the block, which gave me a 7.4 second checkpoint. But now I was on a different cycle. The arms were different. I had to find my own way through this maze. And this is what I found. If you look at the slow-mo, all the poles you have to dodge. You have to know exactly, you know, what pace you're on, where they're at. I had to wait for that purple and then stay low. Couple of key points there. First one, you have to go past this purple. Then you have to be low, because there's an orange coming up there. You have to dodge. Release to get past this purple and then finish. I learned this just by crashing into them over and over again. So that was a completely crushed world record in Kacky. 185. This map was so dumb. Took me so many attempts. Funny how easy it looks in slow motion. Yeah, isn't that interesting? How easy this game looks in slow motion. I wonder if someone's thought of that in the past. Really wonder. That'd be crazy. Bumper RNG? Yeah, this map took so long. And now we're like getting into the last couple of finishes. This was wicked though. The one and only trick. Took me a long time to get this. I played this for like 5 hours total to get it. Got the bounce. Decided to release for the first platform instead of going for the middle bridge. Looks sketchy, but I was able to save it. And then just had to line it up. Exactly straight on the booster. Tried a couple of times. And then at some point, you gotta decide, okay, I'm committing. Which I did. And it ended up working out. Beat the Dragon Eat map. And at this point, I think I had like 6 or 7 maps left. And I was like, okay, I really think I can go all the way. Maybe I'll have to struggle on 190, but I thought I could at least go far, right? So then we played 186. A map I've failed in on countless of times by struggling to land up on the final beam from this very run. Even though it looks so sketchy, I stuck the landing. The goal was 50 maps, yeah. And this was like my 71st map, I think. Kacky's done now. We're just watching back the records. "71 finishes with 186 done." Then I think we just watched this all in slow motion. Because this map is more beautiful in slow motion than in full speed. You get to appreciate the details more. You have to line up exactly for this bug slide. On the edge. Not too far on the edge, just on the edge. Right there. Drop down into the wall ride. Now a right tap late to get the flip angle so that the wheels clip in. Pop you out, air brake. Drive down the wall around the pillar. And then you have to set up for the second wheel clip. Bounce on the plastic wall. If you're fast enough, this will work. And then you get sent into the finish. Wild map from Helvete made that. 195, which I finished in the editor first, but then tried later on the servers. Bounce into a nose bug. Bounce. And I saw this. I knew I could land this with that angle. I committed. Didn't hesitate. Just set it up. Went for it. Got a finish. At this point, I had one map left, and it was the last day. I stayed up almost all night, played a couple maps for improvement, and then went for 175 and 190. 175 was the last like doable map I had left before tackling the hell that is 190. And I wasn't that hopeful for getting it in time, but just before the tournament was over, what can I say? The yeet worked. And after the despair I had the other day when this yeet did not work, that felt amazing. That felt actually amazing. There's a clip which might show the ups and downs of Kacky beautifully. This is only me a couple of days ago. Oh? Dude! Oh. I could have had it. I look at this, I could have had it. It actually sounds like someone is stabbing my heart and twisting the knife. That's the pain I was feeling, man. I never thought a children's racing game could be so painful. I have one map left to do. It was 190. And I can tell you already, I didn't get it. In the end, I finished 74 of the 75 maps. And I want to give a round of applause to Kacky, who was the only person in the entire field of several thousand players who got that map and the 75. Skundir in the end got a really good average. I don't think I would have caught up. But in Kacky, out of 3,000 players, we secured third, which is the second best Kacky I've ever played. Just coming short of Kacky's Kacky number 4, which I won. And one cool thing about that is that there's a prize pool. For third place, it reads, I get 300 euros, exclusive Kacky Reloaded 3 poster showcasing my legendary moment, brand new Kacky merchandise, and Nadeo merchandise. So after 200 hours of playing, I'm most likely gonna get a t-shirt that says Trackmania and some stickers, a poster, and 300 bucks. But what does this do? Let me tell you, this legitimizes all my hard work and effort. $386 from 4 tournaments played. Kacky Reloaded, 300 big ones. This used to be different. I used to have less earnings than Nixolai, than Mudgy. With this win, we're back on top. Pro player now, because I earn money playing this game. Easy clap. Can we spend your 300 bucks for you? No.